Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and to everyone who is new here, hi, my name is Neha, and today I'm going to show you guys how to get this Fiery Flames makeup. And before we begin, I just want to say I know this looks really complicated, but just stick with me and I'm going to tell you guys some tips and tricks whether you are just a beginner or someone who is really advanced. So just trust me and I'm going to teach you some things that you can take away no matter what level of makeup you're at. So right off the bat, I am starting out by applying my eyeshadow primer. I'm using the Tarte CC Eye Primer, which I always use. It's a cream-based product, so I'm just spreading that all over my lids, and then I'm blending it out using a Sigma 3D HD Precision brush. Then afterwards, you're going to see me applying a little bit of translucent powder on top just to set that cream eyeshadow base so that later on when I apply my shadows, they're going to blend out a lot more smoothly. Next, I'm just applying some tape along the edges of my eyes, and this step is actually really unnecessary if you're going to do the whole flames look, but if you are a beginner and you don't want to do the flames and you just want to stick to the base of this look, which is just a simple smoky eye, then this will help you get a really clean edge. So here you see me taking the Morphe 350 matte palette, and I'm just taking a light orange shade and using a fluffy blending brush, I'm applying that all over my crease. And then next I'm taking a little bit of a darker shade, which is like a light red, and then I'm applying that right beneath where I applied the initial orange color, and this is going to help build that gradient. So whenever you're doing a black smoky eye, it's important that you have a really nice gradient and that all the colors transition well so that it doesn't look like you have a black eye. So next I'm taking this gray brown color from the palette, and I'm using a tapered Morphe M507 brush and applying this underneath the red, and this is going to be right above where we apply the black, so it's going to act as a transition between our lighter colors and the black so it doesn't look too harsh. And you can see I'm taking my time really blending out that color, because with the smoky eye it's really important that everything is very blended. And then again I'm going back to my initial brush and just going over that to soften it. And then using that same brush, I'm dipping into a darker red color to add a little bit more red into the crease. Now I'm just taking any old black eyeshadow and I'm applying this on the base of my lid. It's important with a black smoky eye that you do not bring it too high up into the crease, otherwise that's what's going to make it look like you got punched or something. So make sure you apply it relatively low on your lid. And again, I just want to reiterate, if you are a beginner and the flames part of this look is going to be a bit too intimidating for you, then you can just stick to the smoky eye, because that is the base of this look. And if you're too scared to try something that advanced right off the bat, then you can always start out with the simple smoky eye. If not a black smoky eye, you can just take the same technique that I'm using and apply it to any color you want. So just keep that in mind. And now here you see I'm going back with all of my initial colors that I applied and just reapplying them to intensify the color. And in between each step, I'm taking a clean blending brush and just blending that out. And now I'm taking the lightest shade in the palette and I'm applying that to my brow bone just to give it a little bit of a matte highlight. Next, I'm taking a combination of the Inglot Duraline fluid mixed in with the Anastasia cream gel liner. This is the yellow one. I forgot the name, but I will link it down below. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking a drop of the Duraline fluid and applying it to the gel liner. And what this will do is it'll make the gel liner a bit more fluid and more liquidy, so that way it's easier to work with. And now I'm just taking a tiny little paintbrush that I got from Michael's, and I'm just applying random little squiggly lines. With this part, it's okay if you're not precise. If you're worried about having a steady hand, that's totally fine, because all it is a bunch of really imprecise lines, squiggly lines. So just, don't be afraid to wing it. And all I'm doing is I'm just starting at the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm just making these like little curved lines. And now that I'm getting to the end of my lid, I'm going back to the eyeshadow brush that I used to apply the black color, and I'm just extending it past my eye close to my eyebrow just to act as a base, so that when we apply more of these gel colors that they will really pop with black as a base. And then I'm also extending that onto my lower lash line just to make sure everything is really smoky. Now again, I'm going back to the yellow and I'm just adding more curvy lines, And when I'm doing this, I'm initially starting out with more pressure, and then as I get to the end of where I want to make the line, I release the pressure so that the line becomes thinner and more precise looking. And then here I'm adding the same strokes onto the lower lash line as well. You also want to look at the eye as a whole, so that way when you're creating your flames, you want to make it look like it's wrapping around your entire eye. So as you're doing this, make sure you're not just concentrating on one area, but you're looking at your eye as a whole. So what I mean by that is that it is important to look at the shape that you are creating, and not just looking at each flame individually, but how they all fit together next to each other. So now I'm taking this orange liner. This is actually the NYX Lip of the Day lip liner. It's a liquid lip liner, but I'm using it as an eyeliner, and I actually think it works much better as an eyeliner. So here I am taking it, and initially I applied it on my lower lash line, like really close to my waterline, and now I'm moving it up onto my upper lid, right underneath where I applied the yellow. And for each color that I'm going to be applying, I'm going to apply it right underneath the previous color that I applied. And using the same technique, I'm just starting out by applying a bit more pressure, and then as I release my squiggly line, I am easing up on the pressure to create finer lines towards the end. And so here you can see I'm just applying them randomly. And now I'm taking the same NYX Lip of the Day liner, and using the red one, I am starting towards the end of my eye on the lower lash line, and then just randomly adding them in different areas. It's up to you, like what places you want to define with different colors. So I didn't start this look off with any particular plan of, exactly how I was going to apply each shade. To be honest, I'm really just making it up as I go. The only thing that I knew that I wanted to do was just to have the majority of the flames concentrated towards the end of the eye, so it looks like it's extending from the end of the eye onto the side of the face. And then finally, I'm taking this NYX liquid liner. This is the matte liquid liner, and I am taking this and applying this underneath all the other colors. And when I'm applying it onto the inner half, I am using it to carve out the shape of the lid so it looks a little bit sharper. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tip of this, which is really nice because it's a brushed tip, but it's very fine towards the end, so you can get really thin lines. And I'm using this to outline a couple of the flames just to give it more definition. And this is what's going to really define the look and give it a lot of dimensions and also clarity, so you can really see each flame individually. So basically, this is the thing that's really going to make them pop. And again, I'm just winging it. You can apply the black liner wherever you feel you want to add a little bit more definition. So don't feel like you need to follow the exact same pattern that I am. Now I'm just going back to all my initial colors, the yellow, the orange, and red, and I'm just redefining certain areas that I felt kind of got lost with the black. And then for our final step, I'm moving on to lips. I am using the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in, I believe it's either the color Strip or Strut. I will leave the exact color down below in the description box. But I wanted to apply a nude lip just because the eyes are super intense and I didn't want to distract away from all the work that we did on the eyes. And then for the final step, which I didn't show, but I just added some bindis to the inner corners of my eyes, and then a regular one in between my eyebrows on my forehead. And with that, you have the completed look. And so again, I just want to say that, makeup doesn't have to be so complicated. It tends to look way more complicated than it actually is. So, just be open-minded and be willing to give these looks a try. I know my channel is mainly about more of the artistry of makeup, but that doesn't mean that there aren't things that you can learn, even if you are a beginner. So, just be willing to try things out, and that is kind of my main message to you guys. And with that, I will let you guys go, and I will see you guys all in my next video.